So do you mean like when I first started drawing or first started like selling at conventions?
Could be both.
Um,
Um,
okay, drawing wise, forever. I used to doodle like in elementary school with my dad. We used to go to like restaurants and we pull out a notepad and we would just doodle for fun. I didn't take it seriously until about middle high school. My first convention I did, I believe, in 2008 or nine. It was a very small con. It was in the basement of a hotel. We had like 10 artists. We were all like scattered around the outside of the basement area. I sold like clay charms and like little plushies. My art wasn't that great back then, so I stopped selling my artwork for quite a while. And now I've gone back to my artwork. So I think I've improved over the years. So yeah, I've been selling since then. Yeah, I'm the old fart here. I'm getting close to 30. Ouchie.
You're not alone with.
all right.
I'm old compared to all these youngins in here.
So the next I see is Izu. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, easy. Easy's fine.
Okay.
So I started drawing, yeah, pretty much from beginning, like single digit age kind of thing. My father is an architect and artist, so he was always very encouraging about me drawing, which is nice. In terms of Artist Alley, I started, I think, back in 2009. Um, it was a convention that was hosted by a local university, and I think it was one of the first ones in that city. So I really jumped at the opportunity for that, and I think all I had was like a basket full of buttons that I made, and just like hoped to God that everyone would be fine with buying it. um, but then since then, I've super spread out into a bunch of different merch, and uh, sorry, the question was like, how did I get started on this, or
Wanted to hear about like how everyone got got into art, just like generally introduce themselves.
okay. But yeah, I'm as an introduction, I'm Izu. I am 29 years old, living in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canadian over here, and currently I am working at a animation company, Titmouse Animations.
Great. So the next person, we'll just keep this order for all the questions, and then if you guys forget, I'll just tell you who's next. So next would be Star Masayume. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, just Star is good though.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I don't know, my screen was doing something weird there. But yeah, I usually just go by the nickname Star. I've, like all the others, I've been drawing since I could probably hold a crayon. And the same thing, my father was supportive. He put all the stars on my artwork. I would read drawing books when I was a kid. When I was 12, though, I discovered anime, which I loved the style for. And I'd say around 14 was when I like started doodling and drawing in sketchbooks all the time. And when I discovered digital art for the first time, back then we had okaki boards where you could like doodle with your mouse and post it like on a drawing little message board, which was I thought was fun, and that got me obsessed. So I was already interested in artwork and anime style, and then I started going into conventions with some friends. I saw the Artist Alley and I was interested, but I was wary about jumping in. It really took one of our favorite conventions locally in Orlando. They actually did an open call contest for artwork for whatever theme they used to get art to use the artwork for the convention guides and the badges, and they did a light darkness theme, which I thought was fun, and So I actually spent time and did that, and my artwork got chosen. So they pretty much gave me a table in the vendor's room, and so I had my first artist table, and pretty much all I had was 8x10 prints, stickers, maybe some handmade bookmarks. This was 2006, so conventions and Artist Alley looked really different back then. If you could prop anything up, you were golden. So that was really my start. So I've been doing this for almost 15 years now. As I got older, I just kept growing the merchandise, kept trying different things, proving my artwork, hopefully. I got into other things, like I started doing caricature artwork at a local theme park, and I did a commercial art class. So I'd say the last couple years, I actually turned totally freelance artwork.
So last we have Tomo Creations.
Hello. So, I've been drawing art since I was 14, but I didn't get into artist alley until I was like 16, 17, only because I used to be a part of an anime group, and I had a friend there who introduced me into what it was. I was like, oh, that's stupid. You don't sell your art. People don't like buying stuff. And then I got into it. When I first started out, I was selling like small 4x6 prints, and I had like 5 charms. Once people started buying my art, I was like, I can actually do this for a living. So I've been selling for about 10 years. My first anime con that I sold at an artist alley was NeoCon, and I've been going ever since. At the moment, I am 23, and I really do wish just where this year went right, because I wanted to show off my Ida bags that I'm doing for the first time. I was so excited, but yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was excited about new stuff this year too.
Like, whoo!
Yeah, great. So it sounds like you're all doing good stuff. Do you guys have any like inspirations? It could be like well-known artists, or it could be like less well-known artists that you just really like. And then we can start with same order. So Alien Kitty, you can start.
So like people that like inspired me is what you're asking, like anyone
Yeah.
like that. Oh boy. I remember there was an artist when I first started. She still is local here where I live. I approached her when I first started selling at cons to kind of be like my senpai, so to speak, because I didn't know what I was doing. I still know what I'm doing. I don't think half of us know what we're doing, to be honest. We're all just winging it. But she kind of rejected me, to be honest. She didn't want to have a table partner. So I kind of had to learn on my own, which I don't recommend for a lot of artists because there's a huge learning curve from like taxes to learning your displays. But I think a lot of new artists now have the internet now. There's so much YouTube videos, TikToks, Tumblrs, Twitters, Facebook groups that you can join. Hi, Taz. I'm sorry about that. Again, I have a cat that likes to scream. I can't really quote any particular person that like really, really inspired me more than I love anime. I love certain animation styles. It's just the way I am. I just like to learn more new stuff. So it's just I like having a. It would be nice to have a job where I could sell my art full time, but it's very hard to do that. I work part time at the mall as a cashier at a place that's it's owned by Hot Topic called Box Lunch. So it was kind of actually a good fit because they sell a lot of anime merch there. A lot of my money goes back to them, unfortunately. um, but being a nerd, I don't know if I think a lot of us can admit that we grew up in an age where if you wore an anime shirt to school, you were picked on, you were bullied. Not anymore. I don't think kids have that same issue, but I remember distinctly in middle school and high school, being part of the anime club or drawing anime style, people would look at you weird. If you, I mean, unless you like the staples like Dragon Ball or maybe Pokemon, but Pokemon meant for like little kids. So, I really got into anime in high school. So for that, I felt a little bit of stigma for it to like that stuff. And even my art teachers in high school were like, "You can't draw anime. Ew, you won't make any money." And I kind of laugh now how many shows are anime inspired. Like it's a huge phenomenon around the world now. So, like I said, there's not really anyone that motivates me other than just looking at Japan itself and looking at those animators, those artists, and I can follow so many of them now online that I can instantly see their artwork, I can see their works without having to go there. That's kind of what I have to say.
Great. So, Izu, you can go ahead next.
I would probably say that it's like fairly similar. Like I can't super pinpoint anyone who was like a direct influence on me. A lot of the times when I was like on drawing boards and stuff, a lot of my influences were like just generally my friends, because everyone else was like, all my friends were like drawing kind of like their OCs or like the news shows that were going out at that time, and I wanted to like just interact with them. So I would kind of follow along, and like, and that sort of thing where friends start to emulate themselves or each other, and like all of your styles kind of mix together between your friends. I would say maybe that would be probably the closest thing to quote unquote a specific person influencing me and my friends. But in terms of like anime, I can directly point at like Sailor Moon. I can directly point at Cardcaptor Sakura. Gonna point at Clamp, and for like a small while, Mater Zim. But yeah, it was mostly me emulating TV shows a lot in terms of my style. Um, I was part of the my school was definitely part of the hey, don't draw anime sort of thing, and I got really shamed into not drawing anime for a long time. So um, basically, like 13-year-old me drawing a hell of a lot of anime, 14 and up, shamed into drawing not anime, so I had to like manipulate my style into being a bit more quote unquote Americanized or more realistic looking. And then flip back to me in my 20s and like, I'm just gonna draw cute things. And yeah, I mean, didn't super answer the question, but that's essentially what it was. Yeah.
Cool. So, Star, you can go ahead next.
Okay, yeah. So what Izu said, Sailor Moon all the way started this for me. I was 12 and I was pausing the VHS recorded tapes from Toonami just so I could draw them. And then when I discovered the manga art style, forget it. I was in love with anime style. Um, can't say I was very good, but the biggest influences probably was in those early days. I got into Okaki boards, and there was always those top artists on those boards. So you always had some like close artists there that you could chat with that like, oh, they're amazing art, you want to get that good. And then I got into Epilogue, which is like before deviant art, and it was more fantasy sci-fi based with like a high quality expectation. So it was like my goal to get stuff accepted that I tried to submit into portfolios. So if I got something rejected, I'd like try again with something new. So there was a lot of artists on there. So between places like that, Deviant Art, discovering artists, I remember Lucille, Nadi. There's like tons of artists back then that I can't say directly if you can see an influence in my artwork, but that the quality and the aspiration was there. Um, otherwise, yeah, I'd say that. Not so much a person, but getting involved in Gaia Online actually really propelled my artwork a lot. Just because there was a lot of good artists on there, and because you could kind of do a selling environment uh, via the marketplace and selling your artwork, I feel like those years actually really are what improved my artwork. So yeah, that's about it right now.
Tomo Creations, you can go ahead.
For me, growing up, it was mostly Naruto and Bleach that really inspired my art. Up until like a certain point where I discovered an artist on DeviantArt named PK Sora, and I've been following them ever since. They're the one my art style currently takes after their painted style, which is what I personally prefer because am a fan of like old century oil paintings and realism and stuff.
Cool. So just to balance it out with some kind of your questions, what's a fun fact about you, and like what specifically are you selling at WebCon?
I guess I'm up then. Okay. A fun fact about me. Oh boy. Um, hmm. I guess my name, where it comes from, Alien Kitty, was the first username I made on DeviantArt. I had to think of something clever because I always use like my name, like Kelsmeister or whatever, but I didn't want to use that for DeviantArt. And so I had gotten a kitten at the Salt River Canyon, and he has deformed front legs. They are bent inwards, so he has like a little army crawl when he walks. He had a really big head at the time, and so I thought it looked like an alien cat. So I named my DeviantArt Alien Kitty Coon because he's a boy. Yes, I was a weeb. We all were. Ugh, the days. And so I've kept that name. So when I started doing conventions, I didn't want to call myself by my name. I didn't want to say, Kelsey's Designs or whatever. So I went with Alien Kitty Designs because I make a lot of different stuff. I used to, when I first started out, I was doing clay charms. I did plushies. I made purses. And now I've done like posters, stickers, buttons, acrylic charms, even ribbons for your badges. And I forgot the other part. I'm tired. Sorry. I didn't sleep well last night. What was the other part of that?
So the other part of that was like what
Oh,
exactly you're selling
okay.
at WebCon. Yeah.
I mean, basically, yeah, I'm selling some of my small print stickers, buttons, charms on my Etsy. I'm offering commissions. I do digital artwork, so I've learned now not to do $1 sketches, but I will say it, I'll do limited $1 sketches. Because PersonaCon, I guess last weekend or weekend before, I had like 30 people want $1 sketches, and I did feel artist burnout. So yeah, don't undercharge, but don't kill us artists, please. If someone offers a cheap discounted sketch, don't ask for 6, because my brain couldn't comprehend drawing 6 characters. And people ask for characters I'm not good at drawing. So don't ask me to draw dudes. I'm horrible at drawing dudes. Whoever wants to go next.
All right. So one interesting fact about me. As soon as you ask that question, I'm just like, I'm the most boring person on earth. What are you talking about? Um, before I got into doing art as a job, I was studying to become a biologist. So I have 2 degrees and technically 3 degrees. I have a bachelor's in environmental design, which is more of an architecture sort of thing, and another bachelor's of earth and oceans and life sciences, with a minor in visual arts because I wanted to shoehorn more courses into my schedule, apparently. And I also have a diploma in classical animation, which is basically like a big crash course of animation so I can find a job because apparently finding a biologist job in Vancouver is, I don't know why, it's hard. And in terms of what I'm selling at WebCon, let me scroll down my panel list here. I'm going to be selling commissions. I have a bunch of books and zines I organize. I have a lot of enamel pins, washi tape, lanyards, charms and shakers, stickers, memo pads and sketchbooks, buttons, bags, and hats.
Cool. So Star, you can go ahead next.
All right. So, cool fact if I go art related, I have quite a collection of sketchbooks since I was 14, and I have about 12, no, actually, about 14 sketchbooks collected now. But I would go everywhere with a sketchbook. I always liked it when people saw me drawing and got to show off my artwork. And I think I gave out business cards as early as that age because I've actually owned my domain name starinmypocket.net since I was 14. So that's been with me for a long time. I got Star in My Pocket, and that's actually LLC, my official business now. I was actually from a line of a poem that I wrote when I was 12, and I don't remember anything else about the poem, but I liked that line. And I've been signing my artwork Stargirls since I was about 13, 14, so it just kind of fit for me. Um, anyway, for what I'm selling at WebCon, pretty much everything that I bring with me to conventions and everything that's available on my website and art shop is there. So I have 8 by 10 prints, 11 by 17 prints, a buttload of 4 by 6 chibi artwork prints, keychains, buttons, sticker sheets. And then this year we've actually been going a little crazy with a laser engraver we invested in, and we've finally started making products. So we have wood engraved key holder and keychain sets, phone docks now. What else is new? Oh, LED lights, so you can have like a little cool art light on your desk. So pretty much all of that is what I have on there, and I also accept commissions as well for chibi art.
All right, and then Tomo Creations, you can go ahead.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. It was a fun fact about yourself, and then what are you selling at WebCon?
Fun fact, I had 3 different names before I came down with Tomo Creations when I first started off doing Artist Alley, so that was a joyride. And then what I'm selling is like charms and 11 by 17 prints, maybe some pillows if I can get my inventory of like monster girls, animals, mostly reptiles, especially snakes because I love snakes. And then I'm also starting to sell like stickers, maybe magnets, and then my newest addition to my inventory is LED charms. So hopefully I can post those within the next 2 days for you guys to see.
If it's okay to ask, what were your names before you got to Tomo Creations?
It was Tech Sale with the Splash, Fluffy Octokitty, and then it was just plain Tomo, and now it's Tomo Creations.
Cool. Yeah. So, do you guys have any like what were some like if so if you guys take sorry, I totally just lost words. If you guys do commissions, like what was the weirdest thing you've ever been commissioned to do? And if commissions aren't really your thing, like what was the weirdest thing you've ever made?
Okay, well, looking back through my pictures, because I'm doing a panel tomorrow, so looking through my old pictures for conventions, I forgot at a pony convention, someone commissioned me to draw, I kid you not, an anthropomorphic cigar with giant eyebrows, mad. I don't know why this person at a pony convention asked me to draw a cigar with like pony legs, no face, just angry eyebrows, like cartoon eyebrows. I think I did a pretty good job, but it was just one of those why? That was kind of my weirdest commission I can think of that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was weird.
Yeah, it's like as long as they're paying you, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I won't draw not safe for work stuff. I mean,
Right,
I'm not
of course.
comfortable. I tell them like, look, I'm a girl. I'll draw boobies, but I draw a line anything below the pelvis. You know, it's like I don't
Right.
want Google to know me. Google. I don't want to have to Google certain stuff. I don't want Google being like, why is she Googling this? Is she weird? No, it's references.
For me, the weirdest commission that I've ever had to do was it was at an American convention, so I didn't super know who it was, but it was definitely an American senator, and they wanted me to draw him doing the praise the sun pose, and like I didn't know who he was. I just got a photo, and it was like, well, okay, it's an older man doing a praise the sun pose. Might as well. And this was a regular anime convention, so I
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Star?
Yeah, so I mostly do cute chibi artwork, so I can't say I've gotten too many odd requests. I'm pretty much happy to make any character cute and chibi. I think the oddest request for a chibi custom keychain was I don't know if I'm saying his name right. It's the director Guillermo del Toro, the one that did Pan's Labyrinth. Um, I did a cute chibi artwork of him on a keychain, and I think he turned out pretty darn cute. But overall, the weirdest commission I've ever had outside of my anime style, I have caricature requests, and every once in a while, I'll get a very interesting request for those. I had one for a couple that I will not forget because they wanted him in a kilt farting, and then the girl, her bottom half was like an ostrich, and it kind of turned out pretty funny and cute, but it was definitely the weirdest I will ever, I think, encounter for a while.
Wow, that's yeah. So Tomo.
Well, me, it's kind of weird, but not really. When I was at Yomicon 2 years ago, a customer asked me to draw, I think it was like the Harpy girl from Monster Matsune in bed with like a guy. He had like a bald eagle head, and then it was like the spider girl right next to him. And I honestly didn't understand it because I never drawn something like that before. They was like, "Well, it's just an inside joke," and I was like, "This is really weird," because the fact that you wanted not safe for work but also safe for work is kind of confusing me. It was really strange. I wish I still had like a picture of it because I didn't understand it.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. I always love that asking that question because I always hear like the weirdest stories. Um, do you guys have any interests aside from art, like just other hobbies that you like to do?
Other hobbies, yeah, I do play some video games. I'm not an avid video gamer. I really love the Persona series, so I did replay Persona 5 Royal twice because of the pandemic. Mostly because I scripted the first playthrough of it. I didn't unlock the extra bonus dungeon. Didn't know you're supposed to make certain people your friends. Whoops, that was 75 hours wasted. I played Dungeons and Dragons with my group. We moved to Discord actually because of our everything's closed, so we can't go to our card shop. So yeah, I'm a nerd all the way through. I roll dice. I like drawing my D&D characters. It's kind of fun to draw them up a little bit. Um, Besides anime, I do watch some television. Like I really love the trash TV on TLC. So yes, I do like watching 9 Day Fiance. It's kind of fun. It's a guilty pleasure, you know. You get your ice cream when you watch all people freak out and be stupid. Besides that, I was a brony, so I did watch My Little Pony for a bit. I really don't do much else. I used to sew. I kind of dropped that, and right now, I mean, don't do much else. Just watch YouTubes, watch Crunchyroll with my anime, and then I draw. That's all I do. I eat, sleep, and breathe art.
Yeah, that's been pretty much me. I don't have too many hobbies outside of drawing. The pandemic and my roommates getting a Switch um, helped me get into more gaming. Like I used to do a lot more casual games on my PC, but having the Switch really let me explore a bit more gaming. We got Animal Crossing and we got Breath of the Wild, and I got some rhythm games on there. So I've been at least keeping some sort of finger dexterity with that. Um, but yeah, aside from that, I also do D&D. I actually asked my my friends to postpone the game for a little bit just so I can have this little interview thing. So I'm gonna have to rush over there after this is done. um, but yeah, I do tabletop games. What other for hobbies? I used to knit. I used to sew. I used to do a lot of things, but then art took over when I got a job. So
Cool. So, Star, you can go ahead.
Let's see. Well, I am a big bookworm. I love to read manga or regular books, either one. I'd say, especially my teen years and through my 20s, I was really big into writing. I wished I published a book, but I kind of just started writing fan fiction and never really got around to finishing the stories. I liked the fact that I could actually finish an artwork and it wasn't like dragged on for years. So that became my focus. In those years, I was also big into editing anime music videos. I would go crazy 40 hours probably working on some of those. um, as I got older, the focus just kind of turned more onto artwork. Though in my 20s is when I probably got my first PS2 and got into PlayStation games. So, yeah, all the Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy games, Nino Kuni. My friends got me Elder Scrolls right now, and I'm a little obsessed with playing Don't Starve with my husband or friends. So that takes some of my fun time. But yeah, I have a 1.5-year-old toddler now, and she's a little rambunctious and kind of takes a lot of attention. So I just kind of try to sneak in artwork when I can, and just kind of chill and do stuff for fun the rest of it.
And Tony.
I don't really have hobbies other than drawing, but recently I've been getting into fursuit making, but that's pretty much it. I don't do much other than draw and sleep.
Cool. So, obviously, WebCon online convention. Most of you guys talked about your experience in lots of like in-person conventions. How do you feel uh, the how do you feel that they're different um, and how like does it affect like business, if that makes sense, when it's online versus in person?
Well, the major difference being that with online versus real life, or I guess IRL convention now I have to call them now. Um, Definitely the revenue streams. Um, I can tell you most convention, at least the bigger ones, I can make anywhere from like $500 to $1,000. Not including expenses, and that's quite a lot of money. These online cons, the most I've ever seen in one weekend is like maybe $200, and it's even if they sell it on Etsy, I have to pay the Etsy shipping costs and their fees. So I am thankful for online cons, most of them being free. I only paid for I think two of them, and they both turned out lousy. So I will admit, for revenue purposes, online cons are just. I mean, some artists, if you have the following, you can do it, but a lot of us, like myself included, we don't have a lot of followers. I have at most like 300 followers on Twitter. That's not a lot. I'm pretty sure most of them are probably bots, or at least those spam accounts. And again, it sucks because it's hard to get a following right now because everyone is now clamoring, saying, watch me, look at me. And I don't like doing the follow you, follow me back mentality. And there's also now there's like places like Instagram now where you gotta post something every day or you're not you get thrown out of the algorithm. I mean, I will admit though, online cons, it's fun to interact with people more often because in real life conventions, I know people would come to me and go, "I think I saw you at this con." I go, "No, I didn't go there." "Oh, did I see you last year then?" I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Oh, okay." So it was fun meeting people in person and talking with them, and definitely I'm a very good salesman. I can sell stuff. I work in retail now. I worked retail for a while, so you definitely have to have that like almost car salesman mentality of selling stuff. But online, it's completely different. It's a completely different ball game. You have to have a presence. You have to look good. You have to act the part. Yeah, doing live streams helps. I've seen people kind of, I forget, I think it's Fire Yesta. I don't know if she's part of Webcom or not, but she's part of the other online cons. She does a lot of live streaming. She gets a lot of people following her. But I just know a lot of these cons, at least the online ones, tend to cater or at least tend to garner more of the younger audience. And a lot of times the younger audience don't have a lot of money to spend. They don't have credit cards, they don't have PayPal. So, I mean, I don't mind having new followers. That is nice. It's just money kind of talks more right now, especially with all the scariness happening. And I've been furloughed from my job, and unemployment's gonna run out next week. Please don't let it run out. If you can vote, please vote. But seriously, it's definitely it's a different experience. The only online con that you guys are good too. Don't get me wrong. WorldCon's fun. I don't know if you heard of them. The Anime Lockdown one. That one was phenomenal. I don't know how those guys pulled it off. They were two guys that never had done a convention in their lives. They got like voice actors and they did like live stream on Twitch, and I think it pulled in like what, like 5,000 people, 10,000 people. Like, it was nuts. Like, I've never seen that. No other online con has compared to what they did in for 3 days. So I think it's a rough, patchy start we're seeing for the online cons. I think if we can weed out the kids just wanting to hang out and have fun and actually kind of settle down on a convention somewhat model, it may work out. But for the short term, I'm not seeing the revenue. I'll still do online con, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's hard to compare when you used to make like $500 to $1,000 versus I made $20. I can buy McDonald's, you know?
Um, so I used to do a lot of American conventions. So, having to cross the border, having to do a border control, having to get a flight and some place to stay and lugging your luggage, which is usually going to be two heavy suitcases of 50 pounds each across God knows how many like kilometers. Doing online conventions have been like a nice reprieve of having to do a lot of commuting, having to pay a lot of money for plane tickets and all the travel accoutrements. So I do look forward to doing more digital conventions, if only because it feels a lot simpler in terms of like setting up, taking down, quote unquote. I will say that the digital conventions that I have done so far aren't super successful. I think it's also because it's so limited in scope. In terms of IRL conventions, people walking in or people who have been knowing about this for like several months ahead, it doesn't super compare to digital conventions, which are usually like, you see them maybe a month ahead. You're technically just shipping out of your store or whatever. And as well, I've been hanging out in some chat rooms just to like see the sort of uh, see where else I can get to other digital conventions. I see the age groups are fairly low. Like I'm seeing a lot of 13 to 16-year-olds, a couple of 12-year-olds, but I don't think they're supposed to be on Discord. But I see a lot of like really small, low age groups. And I do feel that the current atmosphere of digital conventions is aimed towards beginner artists. So, with conventions being basically on hiatus until further notice, there's going to be a lot more experienced and older people coming in. So, it'll be kind of interesting to see what the shift will be for that. But at the same time, I'm also sort of worried about these. Like, I'm sure that the age group mingling isn't going to be too bad, but I'm a little concerned.
I guess my turn. So this is WebCon is probably my third or fourth virtual con that I'm getting involved with. Um, as Alien Kitty said, it just doesn't replace as far as revenue goes. Um, I was doing upwards of 14 conventions until I had my baby last year, so I actually couldn't do much last year and was really hoping to make a comeback this year. So we were really investing in a lot more this year to do more. But I'd say normally throughout the year, conventions are more than 50% of my income. So online, I think you're missing some of that face-to-face interaction that you can get. People can just be anonymous browsing. You don't really know they're there. Even on Facebook or Instagram, a like is just it's just a number on your screen. You don't quite have that connection. You get a little bit better if they comment, but it doesn't quite feel the same as someone comes all excited to your table. Oh, you have this, and you get to chat over something that you both like, or you get to show off an item in person. And you get a lot of those spur of the moment sales, or people just think about it and come back, and it's just it's an exciting, and it's a little bit different experience. I do like online being able to set up and just chat in chat rooms and reach out to people a little bit. um, it's kind of it's a little bit harder to channel that into sales, and I think part of the reason we're doing this is to help supplement our lost conventions. I'd say the best experience I had was the last convention, Isekai Con. I think they did amazing because they actually built a website from scratch where you could have an interactive, like, mini art shops and neighbor artists. You can filter artists for certain things. You had a chat room embedded in their mini shop. So I feel like this is the year where people are trying to be inventive and learn what works and what doesn't. So I feel like hopefully as online conventions progress, they can, like, kind of take new ideas and build on it.
I have to say has definitely been different. I did my first online con, which was Down Home FurCon, a furry convention, and I did well, but the ones I had after was like 4 others have not been that good when you're used to making so much, like $500 to $1,000, to touch on what other people were saying. It it's been really rough, especially for someone who decided as of last year to switch to doing conventions and my art as my full-time job. To see my revenue drop from 100% to like 5% really hurt. And online cons are not bad, but it's just not something I'm used to. And I really do miss the in-person interaction with customers, seeing what they think about the item, getting their feedback. Because when it's online, oh, I get an Etsy sale, but then they don't leave any feedback. And it's like, well, that feedback will really help me, compared when you go to the con, they give you your honest opinion, sometimes a little bit too honest, but it does help, and it's just really different. And I wish sales were a little bit better, but there's not much you can really do about that, since it's, as someone else said, younger people, newer artists, some people who don't have money can't really shop online. They have like cash, but they don't have credit cards to do what they can do at an actual con. So yeah, it's just really different. I do like it though.
Cool. So, I mean, I think all of you mentioned anime. Just kind of as a fun question, what's your favorite anime?
Oh God. This is like asking someone your favorite Pokemon, man. I mean, this is, I would say in recent, right now, um, for my trashy go-to kind of fun series, Konosuba. I finally got into that this year. That one's a fun one just for fun's sake. But for like favorite all time, I'm looking behind myself. What do I have most of? uh, I would say recently I do like Sword Art Online, but I gotta go with Raid Zero. The newest season coming out is amazing. I like it. It's a good series. I regret not getting on the bandwagon when it first started. And actually, I watched Raid Zero at a convention. I didn't watch it until then. I went into a screening room and watched episode 2 and 3, and I was like, "What is this show? I must watch it now." So yeah, I would say that. I do like the current stuff. I am watching stuff. I finally watched Fruits Basket, so I'm 20 years behind. You want a sad one? Watch Fruits Basket.
Okay, in terms of anime, I've really fallen off like the anime like wagon kind of thing in terms of like actually physically watching them. But I do remember I super enjoyed Mob Psycho 100, and JoJo Part 5 was so good, man. Like I'm I'm gonna be legitimately excited for Part 6 to be coming out soon. I think they announced it that it's gonna coming out and that it will be made, and probably over in 2021 or 22. Fingers crossed. Um, I okay, kind of look behind me. I did really enjoy Watakoi, which is basically like it's basically like manga anime gamer nerds who are working in like an office space, finding each other and just like um, kind of finding solidarity of being a nerd in a very non-nerdy workplace. And like the animation isn't like perfect or anything, but I still love the story from when I was reading it in the manga, so I can't help but just watch that as well. I tried watching Beastars and I super fell off the wagon, and I need to get back on it because I have 3 episodes left. I need to get back on it, but it's just so hard to watch stuff nowadays for me. I'm just always so busy with work and just making more merch.
For me, just for nostalgic sake, I'll go for Sailor Moon just because of all the years I was obsessed. I wrote fan fiction, did all the fan art for it. I might have gotten married and had my bridesmaids in Sailor Scout colors with the little charms and everything. So I have quite a collection in history with Sailor Moon. As far as like a favorite series that I would like to go back and watch a lot, I would go with Kami-sama Kiss for shoujo just because of what a fun balance it is between fantasy and like comedy, drama, especially the manga itself. If I flip it over to favorite shonen, however, One Piece is definitely that nostalgic, always anime for me. It's the one that I can just chill to and find easygoing to watch. And out of more recent anime, I'd say for shonen would be Demon Slayer.
For me, this is a really old one, and I'm honestly really sad that the creator passed away before they finished it. It's Blood Trinity. It used to be on Adult Swim. I think it only has like 10 episodes or something before like the creator passed away, and I was so sad. I miss that anime so much. And then currently, of course, it's JoJo. I love JoJo. It's the best ever.
So, one more kind of like more serious question. Do you feel that your art has like evolved over time, just like from the time started to now? And if so, like how?
Oh God, yes, yes. My dad, I love the man, but he kept some of my original drawings from high school and he framed them and put them on his house walls. And every time I go over to his house, because I do see him once a week to give him stuff because the pandemic and everything. And I look at him and I go, why? Why? And I actually did recently find some of my I was trying to draw like a manga in high school. I found some of those things recently. And yeah, my style has severely changed. I mean, I've changed in the last like even 6 months. Again, with the internet and like Twitter and everything, I follow a bunch of artists. If I find something that I like about someone's style, I'll save the picture and then later on try to recreate what part of it I liked, like maybe the way they draw their eyes, maybe the way they color, and then it becomes my weird take on it. So yeah, definitely my style has changed significantly. I've gone from drawing on paper and pen in real life to now only on the computer. I almost can't draw in reality. I don't know if anyone else has this problem. I do Control Z in real life. I've done that twice when I've been drawing, and I try pushing Control Z, and I go, "Oh, right, paper, don't do something. Computer can do." But yeah, I was part of the pony community, so I did draw ponies for a while. But I've gone back to drawing more anime. I actually can draw hands now. Woohoo! I can't draw feet, but I can draw hands. So yeah, definitely my style has changed significantly. And I'm still learning. I don't think I'm not done. My style has just changed so much.
In terms of my artwork, the oldest piece of artwork online at least is back from 2010. So that's basically the oldest I have for reference. And yeah, my art style has changed a lot. There's still some qualities to it that I can pinpoint and be like, yeah, that's still there. But for the most part, the way I draw faces, the way I draw bodies have changed a lot. Um, after doing a lot of figure drawing in high school and during my animation degree, I like to think I have a better sense of proportions, but um, I still think the way I draw hair is probably very similar to how I did it before, because just making all those big swoopy lines, you don't stop doing that. I remember that my parents also did a similar thing where they would put up every single little drawing I did on the wall, and I'm pretty sure there is a wall in our house that is just caked upon caked with papers that I've drawn on it. You can't. There's like 7 layers of it. But whenever I saw it, it's always just like a nice reminder of how far I've come from just doing like not like stick figures, but like really goopy bodies, to like having some sort of understanding of where a muscle is. Maybe, yeah.
So, as I said before, I have kept a collection of like my 13 sketchbooks since I was like 14 years old. So, it's kind of cool to go back and actually like look at the progression of my artwork, what phases I went into when I got into drawing like mechanical steampunky things for a little while, more realistic for a little while, then more anime, more chibi artwork. As far as evolving, I think at a certain point, like I started trying to force myself to do backgrounds more and spend more time on the background art. I forced myself, as others, learn how to draw the hands. Very important to draw hands, and also trying to do a little bit more dynamic poses or layouts, or just trying to like get a little bit better with the coloring. Um, Throughout the years, I've also changed which art program I've used or which tools I've used. There's always been a little bit of evolution there as I switch between which, like, do I use the airbrush more during those years? Now I use a little bit more mixture of programs, and I use the fine details more in Photoshop, and I spend a little bit more time adjusting colors and things like that. So it's weird though. It's a little cringy though, because I do have some really old artwork up on DeviantArt, and I still and I have a ton of it all saved on my computer, so I can look at it anytime and feel a little bit better where I'm at.
For me, yes. Oh God, yes. My art when I was 14 was not the best. And I'm reminded of it every day because my boyfriend has one of the first pictures I drew of Ari in a picture frame on his wall. So every time we go to bed, I see it. And he goes, "Hey, remember when you drew that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember when I drew that. Stop reminding me because I don't like it." And then he compares it to how I draw now, and it's like before it used to be like really sketchy and line art, and now it's like all painted with like I'm better with colors and shading. It's still bad at backgrounds, but I try. But it's like, yeah, I definitely have improved, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it, but it's like I wish he would take that picture down because I don't want to look at it. It's so bad.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up soon with one final question. But first, Alien Kitty, you have a panel coming up. Do you want to tell us about that and like when we can see it?
Yes, I have a panel tomorrow. I know you guys are East Coast time, so for me it's different time, but I believe it's 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., whatever the time zone is over there, because I'm bad with time zones, because I'm on the West Coast. For me, it's like 4 o'clock-ish. I'm basically going to talk about what we've kind of already gone over with this, with my experiences at conventions. I'm going to tell some fun stories that I forgot about. Little teaser. I had someone steal my license plate renewal sticker, one of the first cons I ever went to. Yeah, somebody tried to steal my license plate. That was fun. That was horrible. And I'll just kind of go over this how conventions are for people who have never been to a con, and then I'll kind of talk about the future of conventions. And I made a list of how many cons I've attended, and oh Nelly, I've actually attended quite a lot. So yeah, tomorrow, come hear me talk more, because I just love to talk so much.
Yeah, very cool. So you said 4 p.m. West Coast?
I believe it's because I think I'm 3 hours behind you guys.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Again, I hate time zone. Again, another problem with online cons: time zones. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
GlassCon,
had
get
a
their
I was
best
doing a
early.
doc. Yeah, I was doing a Doctor Who panel, and people were in like 4 different time zones, so like the times were crazy. So anyway, yeah. So I want to just ask as a closer, where can people learn more about you? Like, say your website, your social media, all that.
Okie dokie. I have a channel on here. People can see it still. I don't know if it's on here. It's the Alien Kitty for my Artist Alley tab. It should have all my links on there. On Twitter, I am known as Kels. It's spelled Kels Mister. I say Kels Meister. I was 9. It was Neopets. My cousin made the username. I will I will die on that gravestone. It says Meister, not Mister, even though it's spelled Mister. For Twitter. On Facebook, I am Alien Kitty Designs. Type in the whole thing. If you don't write designs, you get it probably somebody else. I don't know who they are. You'll see like a little pink cat with like a little like Saturn-looking planet. That's my logo. I didn't draw it. Somebody else did. I love people. Thank you, because it's funny. I once in a while I can't draw animals. I am on Instagram, but it's my full name with like a number after it. So, if you want to find it, go find the link in the doobly doos. Because, but yeah, mostly I'm active on Twitter. I'm semi-active on Facebook. I used to post only on Facebook for my table, so that's kind of why I don't really talk much on there. But yeah, if you want to bug me, come bug me on Twitter or bug me on here on Discord. I got open DMs. I am more than happy to talk to people.
Where to find me? All right, I'm on Twitter as a potential FA. My Tumblr is potential for art. And I don't super have any other social medias aside from I do have a portfolio, potential for art on ArtStation. My store is Izuma, IZUMA, Store Envy. And I do have a separate store for my book projects, which is the Object Head Zine. One word, on Gumroad.
So for me, starinmypocket.net is my web shop and my kind of art hub for everything. It will link to all my social places, my Facebook, Instagram, even Pinterest. So that's the main thing. I do have a channel on here, and I'm also happy to accept DMs. And other than that, I have been trying to breathe a little bit more life into my DeviantArt account. Maybe I'm grasping at the past, but it's kind of cool since they redesigned it. So I am StarMaZMA there as well.
For me, it's pretty much for Twitter, Facebook, DeviantArt, and Etsy, Tomo Creations, except for Etsy without the S, because someone apparently had my name before. There's no space between Tomo and Creations, just full Tomo Creations. And then for FA or for Affinity, it's Tomoyuki, which is also linked in my Artist Alley channel in the Discord.
Awesome. So I want to thank all of you guys for coming. I want to thank everyone who's watching on Periscope or wherever else that we're streaming right now. And I want to remind everyone to please attend our weekly webcon mini sessions tomorrow, Saturday, maybe I think maybe Sunday too, all the way up from this weekend until the end of August. And everyone, please, everyone have a good night.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night.
Bye.